Well, what's going on, everybody? Andrew 5614 Marketing back with another, whatever these are, podcast episodes, videos, content pieces. I don't know, call them what you want. Today, talking about kind of my content strategy, what it's been, where it's evolved to, tools that I'm using, what I find to be most important when creating content, especially trying to attract attention. I think the first thing being, where do these ideas come from? How do we come up with ideas? How do I brainstorm ideas? Well, two things mainly. One, you can imagine AI, baby. AI is in the picture of most of the content that I create. What I do, ChatGPT, I think there's probably other ones do this as well, but ChatGPT for sure has tasks. What I do is I set a task for every single day to have ChatGPT send me a bunch of pieces of content. So I have it send me 3 YouTube concepts, 3X concepts, 3 LinkedIn concepts, as well as an additional task that sends me just LinkedIn posts, and as well as an additional task that sends me just business related. So I kind of split it up in between 2 brands, myself as a brand and obviously the agency as a brand. So I get 3 messages every single morning, 6 a.m., plenty of time when I wake up to review, post, capture, and kind of go from there. So using AI, what I do within those, or part of the prompt, I say, create content pieces for these platforms, specifically for these platforms in the style of Andrew Dornish, me. I've backstory, have a website, have a little bit about my mission statement, core values, what I do. So it pulls from that. So more importantly, creating places where that is the AI can go and retrieve data from. Side note. So I say, hey, write it in the style of Andrew Dornish. I say, hey, mimic maybe some of your favorite people that post, mimic, whoever that is. That could be hundreds of people. Mimic that person or use it in the style of, or create posts based off of blank. Could be concepts, could be people, could be brands. And what that does is kind of provide framework for both how you speak as well as the context of the post. And then last but not least, put another put another sentence saying, what you're trying to accomplish. Hey, I'm trying to gain more attention. Hey, I'm trying to grab followers. Hey, I'm trying to just, build brand awareness. And then that's kind of the three ways that I structure each prompt. So what I wanted to create, how I wanted to create, and who I want to create it for. And I use those for all 3. And I get different ones from all 3 different prompts, or different tasks. So it gives me a wide variety of things to choose from, which is super beneficial. Some are great, some are terrible, some are duplicates of what they did last week. So really finding the balance of new content, stuff that is engaging, stuff that actually really speaks to your audience, actually that's something that you would actually say. So that's kind of how I first kind of brainstorm content. Second, capturing it, I capture it in 2 ways. One, longer form videos, I use kind of a more professional setup. That's just a nerd in me that I enjoy these cameras, and I enjoy putting up lights and audio and editing these. So that's kind of like a nerd thing of mine that I enjoy doing. Second, quick capture content. If you have a cell phone that's able to take videos, that's probably the best way to create content. I usually do videos, or I usually do quick hitting content when I'm in the middle of things. Driving to the gym, I get there a little early. Driving for a fitness class, get there a little early. Driving home from the gym, at the grocery store, kind of in these middle pieces of what I'm doing that day. These obviously large or longer format, over 2 minutes, over 30 seconds, over 15 seconds. I set up a camera, set up lights, spend a little bit more time doing it. Usually do this once a week, once or twice a week, to kind of get content for those kind of 2-week things. And then kind of the last component that I really take a look at is, who am I creating this content for? Kind of going back to the task part of it, or the ChatGPT tasks, and who you're creating the content for, I think is probably the most important thing. And building out that persona, or building out that person, because I think a lot of people create content that they enjoy viewing themselves. I have that as well. I do have an Instagram account that I enjoy posting from. That is just like cool shit that I think I did. Not always, but cool things I think I did, and I enjoy producing a piece of content for. But when it comes to the business sales side of things, I think it's important to not only think about what you enjoy creating, but also how your audience or who your audience is and how they're going to receive it. Remember, at the end of the day, you're building content, or you can have the goal of building content for attention, for sales, for new business, and you're building that content for those people, not for yourself. So I think that's the last very important component to all this. The way that I always explain it to people and clients that are interested is I like to build it like a movie character. What they do, how old are they, what do they enjoy watching, listening to, what does their day look like, and take a character from a movie and completely build it out. Do they drive to work? Do they take the bus to work? Do they drive or take the subway to work? And get like super nitty gritty with some of those really tight details. And those are going to be your places that you get to interact with these people. You got to remember, most people are probably ripping through content. They're in a feed, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, Twitter, everything. Everything's going to be kind of a quick hit content. So you got to remember that. And people go to different places for different things. Go to Instagram for more visual, go to LinkedIn for more written, go to TikTok to just kind of read 2 seconds of what the world is bringing us. So you have to remember when you're posting on those individual platforms that there is a different set of attention rules or guidelines that people kind of go by. So those are kind of the most important things. That's how I create content. That's how I've grown audiences on some of my platforms. And if you have any questions or you're looking to learn more about how you can create content for you or your business or brand, more than happy to chit chat about some solutions and about some opportunities that might be out there. If you're building your persona, your consumer persona, more than happy to talk about that as well. Just send me a DM or comment below. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's get it. Build content, create content. The more content you create, the more attention that you can grow, or more attention that you can gain to grow your business. Every single piece of content is a soldier, and the more soldiers that you have, the more chance that you have of winning the war. So let's get after it. Have a wonderful day. Andrew 5614 Marketing. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to you soon. See ya.